Hi, my name is Ted Parrott. I am an athletic trainer at Missouri Southern State University. I am making a course for the athletic training disabled. I am currently enrolled at the University of Arkansas for adult education. This course has enlightened me in different technologies that I can do to become a teacher later on. I have not had a lot of teaching experience yet as an athletic trainer, and that's what I'm trying to promote and learn. This class has definitely been a huge help in me learning technology. I am not very big technology based. This course is outlined for the athletic training with disabilities. I am a disabled athletic trainer. I started my career in high school with the athletic teams. That is where I got my basis and love for athletic training. I have about 10 years of experience. I've worked in, like I said, at high school. I've worked at the collegiate level with Oklahoma State, where I got my undergrad. And then I got my internship here about 4 years ago with Missouri Southern. My course is, like I said, over athletic training for the disabled. And I really want to promote this to the audience of just athletic trainers that want to learn about the disabled and how they can adapt to help athletic trainers that are disabled that want to be in the profession. I also want to work with the disabled that want to be an athletic trainer, or anybody that's bridging from, you know, physical therapy or, to become a doctor, how they could promote this if they're disabled to into those professions. I'm going to integrate that too. An athletic trainer, first I'll tell you what an athletic trainer is we encompass the prevention, diagnosis, and intervention of emergency and acute and chronic medical conditions involving impairment, functional limitations, disability. In layman's terms, that means we're in charge of all the health problems that can occur within the daily setting of an athlete, on the field of play with an athlete, and what kind of injuries and illnesses that they can deal with too. We do have some, like, general sicknesses that we have to deal with. That is just like, colds, that kind of stuff. We're the bridge between the doctor and on the field injuries. Now, the more prominence that you'll see us, of course, is in the professional leagues or big college games. We're the guy that when somebody goes down with an injury, we're the first to respond. We'll have doctors out there, of course, to help us, but we're usually generally the one that deals with the athlete on a daily basis. And if they need anything more, dealing with like heavy cuts, they need stitches, that kind of stuff, we'll be the person to get them to a doctor. If they need surgery, we're the bridge between the doctor and what we found, or we can get them scheduled to that. Or if they need a little more extensive rehabilitation than what we can provide, we will be the one that schedules them to get to the physical therapist. Like I said, athletic training for the disabled has been a little bit more looked down upon because of all the able-bodied requirements that people have to become an athletic trainer. And it's not that it's not doable in a wheelchair, it just means you have to be very creative. What I mean is, for an example, I tape over there. I know you can't see it all very well. I would move it a little better, but this camera is not that good. But they have a taping table that is set up with tape, with the cabinets up high, and a lot of the stuff that is out reach. This is just an example, but I have to find a way to get to those supplies, either have an able body or one of my athletes grab it for me. And I have to either hop up on the counter to grab those things. Some of the stuff that we use is just general white tape for prevention and of injuries. Acute care, we can tape an ankle. I'm sure you've seen that before. We tape hams, knees, and anything that we can prevent an injury within the field of play and keep our athlete on the field of play. The other thing that we have to use is splints. This is just a bag of about 3 or 4 splints that we have for legs, knees, ankles, etc. That when anybody gets a fracture within the field that we can use. The course outline is basically going to be starting off with the general care and first aid that we had to provide on the field of play or in the actual athletic training room. And that can consist of cuts to wounds, to staph infections, to anything you could pretty much think of. My next point of my course will be rehabilitation in the athletic training room and some of the situations that I'll have to deal with as being disabled, as having to find ways to help out my athlete and get the job done in a way that, one, will help out my athlete, and one, I can find ways that, get the job done through rehab without having so much using able body characteristics. One, you have to work with athletes that are very understanding of your situation. So I've had running troubles with different sports, but I'll get in more specific with that in my course. I've also tried working with different genders, and that helps out a little bit too, but that'll explain more in the course of my course. Some of the limitations in the rehabilitation that I'll find is very limited, just because there's not a lot of physical requirements besides the stretching details. Those can be easily adapted to. As you can see behind me with the tables, they're not too bad, but there's different types of tables that are higher, lower. You can run into troubles with. You can easily adapt to different situations with that. That even now, if you can afford them, they have high-low tables that can promote different variances throughout the degree range that can help you get to the height you need to do the rehabilitation technique that you need to get to, or even taping. I've used a high-low table just to tape. High-low table is the different tape because it goes up and different tables goes up and down. The other course that I really wanted to look into was injury prevention, which is the taping like I talked about, which is the rehabilitation, which is just a lot of health details too, like your nutrition, your basically, prior knowledge to keep a person from dehydrating. It's general health concepts. The other stuff that we have to deal with is diagnosis. That is knowing the human anatomy, knowing what's going to be that. In my course, I know this is just a basic course. I will go over the basic ankle sprain, shoulder impairments, hands, feet, fractures that could be talked about. The course specifically will deal with how in an injury diagnosis we have to do what we call a special test to find out a specific injury and how you can manipulate and get up and down on a table to do the special test. It's kind of blunt right now, but it'll be explained more in the course. Also in this course, I really want to promote to learners or organizations that are looking to be an athletic trainer, but what they could take from this is what athletic trainers that are disabled, have to deal with on a daily basis, and what they could do in the future for their careers. The future I really want to promote is that you're not going to be turned away just because of that. There's other ways in athletic training too. You don't have to be the specific one that is doing the on-field stuff. Athletic trainers are also put into businesses, like big businesses like Coke, Pepsi. All of them hire athletic trainers just to cut down medical costs, and you don't really have to pay for a PT to do simple rehab if the athletic trainer can do that on his own. This is also another range that I can promote through my course to show them that athletic training is doable even if they can't, able-bodied enough to get out on the field of play and be specifically to sports. I can also want to promote it, like I said, to physical therapists because I'm a valuable knowledge to someone that, as a physical therapist that's never dealt with somebody in a wheelchair, that has been wheelchair bound and has to deal with a rehabilitation, they got to know their limitations, what and where they can do in a wheelchair, or a workout plan that will benefit them and adapt it from being an able-bodied person to the person in the wheelchair. This course is going to be highly used more in the classroom, but I'm going to use electronics to back up what I mean, the internet, computers, video. All these will be good additives to my course, and of course all my lectures that I want. I'm going to use YouTube for the videos, in injuries and show what they could be dealing with on a daily course and how I'd adapt to those. I'm going to use Blackboard to keep my course intact and do all of their coursework on there. They have the discussion board, of course, and they have, where we can grade our assignments and turn in assignments. I'd rather have that so they can review them and we can talk through there, and it keeps the classroom open to discussion and me lecturing, and allowing them to have the freedom base of having confidentiality where if they don't feel confident asking the questions in the classroom, they can use it online. I'm still kind of learning the technologies in the classroom and finding different ways. I will primarily be using Blackboard because I've dealt with that before, like I said in my course, but I'm hoping to find different ways. So that is my course, and it looks like I've covered all the topics here, so I hope to get my course in, and I hope you learn a lot from it. Thank you.